What's up, guys? Welcome back. So today I'm coming at you from my mom's kitchen. I'm visiting her for the week, so this is clearly not my kitchen, but I'll be doing this from here for the next few times. But today I'm gonna make something that I love making all the time for like barbecues or cookouts or for myself, honestly. But so I'm gonna be making some homemade chips and salsa. Now, this salsa is like restaurant quality, super good salsa. I got the recipe from Laura in the kitchen, and I will link her website down below. But super simple, not a ton of ingredients, and I will show you how to make it. So let's go over the ingredients and we will get started. All right, so the first thing you're gonna need 2 cans of these diced tomatoes. I like to get fire roasted diced tomatoes because it adds a little bit more kind of depth of flavor, but you can get whatever diced tomatoes you want. 2 cans of that. You need 1 small yellow onion. You need 1 jalapeno seeded however much you want. I typically do about 1/4 of the seeds and veins because I don't like it super spicy, but if you're crazy, you just do all the seeds, or if you want it completely mild, take out all the seeds, all the veins. So you need 1 jalapeno. You need the juice of 1 lime. You'll need about 1 cup of loosely packed cilantro, about 1/2 a teaspoon of oregano, 1/2 a teaspoon of cumin, about a teaspoon of sugar, like granulated sugar, and some salt, however much you want to taste. And that's it. And then for the tortillas, the tortilla chips, sorry, you'll need a few corn tortillas and a little bit of oil. And I'll show you how to make that once I get the salsa going. All right, and that's it. So let's go ahead and mix all this together and let's get started. All right, so the first thing I'm doing here is just kind of coarsely chopping this onion. You don't need to make it super small because it's gonna go in the food processor anyway, so just enough so it can kind of get in the food processor. And then I'm gonna do my jalapeno, cut that little hat off. I call it a hat, I mean, it's a top, whatever. Ooh, almost cut my finger off. Again, I don't have great cutting techniques, but it's all good. All right, so these are all the seeds. I'm just gonna do, like I said, about 1/4 of the seeds. I'm gonna take this whole side out, like that. Get those guys out. And there's a little bit, it's all good. You know, just be a little bit spicier. All right, and then I'm gonna do about 1/2 of this side, so I can leave about 1/4 of the seeds. Take these guys out, because that's probably gonna burn my tongue right out of my mouth. All right, so that's probably pretty good. And then you just kind of coarsely chop that. Again, it's gonna go in the food processor. All right, so now I'm just gonna cut my lime up. So it's gonna kind of roll it to get the juices flowing. And then I'm just gonna cut it in 4ths. That way I can just get the juice out of it a lot easier. And then I'll be ready to add everything in the food processor and be good to go. All right, so I got my food processor here and literally just gonna dump everything in here. Got my tomatoes, and then I'm gonna do my cilantro. Just gonna take, you just want about 1 cup, about the palm of your hand, that's probably good. Throw that in there. Get my onions in there. And my jalapeno. And it will be pretty full, but you know, it'll come down when the food processor gets going. All right, for the salt, I'm just gonna add about, I don't know, about a palmful or so. See that? And then you can kind of adjust as you taste it. All right, now I'm gonna add my oregano, about 1/2 a teaspoon. I just kind of eyeball that, do a few shakes in there. My cumin, again, just a few shakes. Kind of eyeball that. Some people don't like cumin. I actually happen to love cumin, so I'm just gonna put a little extra in there. And then for the salt, again, about a teaspoon. I just kind of dig my fingers in there. And that's probably pretty good. You don't want it too sweet, but the sugar kind of just balances out the acid. And so it's good to add some sugar in there. It's not sweet, it's just, again, just kind of balances out the acid. All right, now I'm just gonna put my limes in there and I will be good to go. Squeeze all that delicious lime juice in there. All right, my last wedge of lime is nice and juiced in there. So now I'm just gonna put the top on and get this thing going. Now you can pulse it however you want. however, whatever kind of consistency you want. I like it a little chunky still, but you can puree it as much as you want. So I will show you what it looks like when I get to how I like it. All right, that is about good. Let me show you what it looks like. All right, see how that's a little chunky, but not, you're not like chewing it or anything. But also I don't really like it super pureed. But that's it. I'm gonna put that in a bowl and stick it in the fridge, and then I will show you how I make my chips. All right, so these chips are super easy to make. I will be baking these, and I'll show you why, because it's a lot easier and it's a lot healthier to do that. So what I have here, I have 3 corn tortillas, a little bit of oil in a bowl, a little brush, and a pizza cutter. All right, so I'm just gonna take my brush it in the oil. And so you really don't need a ton of oil, which is one of the reasons I really like making it like this, because you're not frying it in a ton of oil, and it's, you know, you feel better about eating 3 tortillas. And I'm just gonna cut these in 4s. And so I'll have 12 chips. And that way it can help you, you know, not eat a whole bag of tortilla chips, which I can easily do if I just have it in front of me. So this way, when you're making your own, you're not tempted to eat the whole bag because you have to make them yourself. And so you'll make about 12 chips out of this. And see, having 12 chips just sounds better than having 3 tortillas, you know, so whatever makes you feel better. All right, so I got those brushed. I'm just gonna cut these in 4s and then lay it out on this baking sheet. All right, so I got my tortilla chips here, all ready to go. So again, I have my oven preheated to 375. I'm just gonna bake them for about 12 minutes or until they start to kind of brown on the edges, and I will show you what it looks like when we get there. All right, so these guys were in the oven for about 13 or 14 minutes, and see how they're kind of brown on the outside? That's really what you want, because if you take them out too early, they'll be really chewy, and you don't want that. So while they're still hot and the grease is still, or the oil is still a little wet, you want to hit them with that salt right now. That way the salt will stick to it. Because if you don't, it won't really stick, and you won't have salty chips that you all love. All right, so I'm just gonna let these sit here for a couple minutes, let them crisp up a little more on the baking sheet, and then it will be time to eat. All right, I let the chips cool for a few minutes, put them on a plate, and I got my bowl of salsa here. I'm so excited. All right, so I got my chip here, nice brown toasty chip salsa. Here we go. Buen provecho. Man, that salsa is so good. Seriously. Every time I make it for potlucks or barbecues or whatever, people always love it. And you can do a lot with that. It's awesome on eggs the next day. That's one thing about the salsa too. It's even better the next day after it's been in the fridge. The flavors kind of get to know each other a little bit and all that. But it's so good on eggs. I've even heard of people poaching chicken in this. Laura, the one who made this recipe, Laura in the kitchen, she poaches chicken in this sometimes, and I've never tried that before, but I've heard it's good. But yeah, seriously, go make this. It's super easy. You'll never want to buy store-bought salsa again. And these chips are really easy to make, like you just saw. A little healthier when you bake them, and prevents you from binging on all the chips. All right, so don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you make this recipe, I would love to see you guys tag me in it. That would be awesome. Well, that's it for today. I'll see you guys next time. All right, bye.